guy streams constantly, round the clock, playing,
True. gaming,
you know, like, literally, it feels like 24/7. You can go there and he's up to no good.
Yeah, Shadow Gamers Club on time. We love it. But it's all about the expectations, Harry. But how will it fare in the server? Another BO1 to get you going here on Inferno. We should be getting into it. Sao Caetano, Imperial, and boy oh boy, I'm very excited. This might it's not game of the day in terms of tier of CS, but it might be game of the day in terms of eye test. And seeing what we're going to get out of this roster. So let's jump right in. CT side for Imperial. Vinny's on the kit smoke. Fallen's got a nade. And there's already util being lobbed up into the A site as the ult play comes out.
Yeah, little lapse pop here. Sao Caetano straight in. Ult's down in the pit, dead right away. And that there is the A site already overwhelmed. Imperial going to be on for a bit of a retake here, but in the 3-on-5, I mean, I don't want to say it, but you literally could justify saving. I don't think you're going to. You want to give it a bit of a look in.
Yeah, you got to warm up, man. First round of the day, get some pistol headshots. First found one. Play bottom mid. They're going to run by him. They're going to go in for the retake. First got a double, Harry. You say you want to save, but there is a kit down in the site somewhere on Vinny's body. So Fur's going to look to clear corners. He's ready for the repeak. Not going to be able to get it off, though. Imperial running out of time. Delboni hiding in the site. Nice trade. Team kill, rather. And Danico at the back of the pit with a crossfire on Showtime is enough.
Plus, I realise that this is only minor. When I said winning
major,
yeah,
I major final, yeah.
Major,
I didn't want to correct you.
No, I know.
We all knew what you meant.
It's just one of those things.
Yeah, we all knew what you meant. Don't worry.
None of us ever quite forgave Gambit for that one, but it's all well and good. Look, so here we are. That's
they're looking ready. They're looking in the server. Woo! That's funny.
Sponsored by Invisible Paint. So,
and we'll be watching it dry all day.
Sao Caetano going to grab themselves a little pistol round here to kickstart the T side of Inferno.
It's got to feel cool, even for Sao Caetano. Obviously, these guys, we hype them up, their experience, but to play against, it's not SK in their prime, but it's the remnants of. So that's got to be a lot of fun. It's definitely going to be a level of familiarity there. Scout for FNX. Definitely one of the bigger talking points of this team is this guy. He's going to hit a scout tag. Sao Caetano leave banana. They've at least forced a triple B setup out of Imperial. This A site is looking ripe for the taking. Pluck it. Uh-oh. Oh,
that's a nice nade. FNX.
Okay.
It's a little double with the scout. All right, causing trouble already. They just smoke him off. They just go, you know what? Sometimes the best way to deal with them is not to fight them, just to lock them out of the round. That leaves just one defender, really. Vinny down in pit. Oh, but he's clean. He's clean, all right. Only good for the first. A little bit of chip damage to follow up. Delboni's dead. Fallen's the Eagle rains out with another.
No way.
Oh, God. How do you even want to attempt this one? At the bare minimum, they're all locked off on this smoke. You're not getting challenged yet. You know that everyone's on the other side, but they are running at you, man. They are running at you. And Fallen's going to lock it in. Imperial steal it back with a force buy right away. We are competitive from the get-go. And I want to say this, man. I was one of the kind of, it feels like few people who was thinking that Fallen was actually good form, like while he was in like the Liquid project. There were a few moments, I think especially when he first joined, where we kind of looked and we were like, God, are we getting Fallen back? Because his rifling, which is just a wild sentence, but like his rifling looked so clean. And
he was a tap king, if you remember.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there was that one round, I think it was like Overpass, where he's like over towards Monster, dude, and he fires like 4 bullets, 4 kills. Ah.
Yeah. No, there were definitely a lot of highlights.
It also felt really nice just casting that round where Imperial are wrecking everyone, because it feels like I've walked into a time machine accidentally to one of my favorite CS time periods. So, a beautiful thing indeed.
Nothing feels quite like it. Fallen with a double D, FNX getting 2 on the long side, Vinny hitting his 1 shot across the map. And yeah, I mean, It's kind of crazy even to see Vinny here after, you know, how much success that Furia had, and now even are still having, right, with this fairly new roster and a new AWPer. But hey, when you have people like Fallen, etc., I'm not going to list his whole team.
Look, man, when
Vinny,
Fallen hits you up in the DMs,
it's a dream,
and like,
it?
hey, hey guys,
want to play with me? You
Yo.
don't say no to that. So I can get behind it, but let's see how they fare. A Force win and a Tech timeout. It's fine. Get them out early, like we say. But likely going to see a buy back in for Sao Caetano. They could full Glock it, of course, but it's just more common to start a game off with a Force buy war, keep the rounds fast before util is apparent, before the orbs in, before full buys are there. You definitely want to try and win that money game. So we'll see if Sao Caetano can do exactly that.
You know, I think something else that's kind of cool about like the position that Imperial are in, and maybe this isn't me reading the room right, but maybe it is, is that it kind of feels like in a way they might have this tremendous legacy, but also it feels like they're not under this kind of same pressure as maybe some of the other teams here are.
I also think that the way that they framed this
exactly
roster
right
has helped with that.
Yeah, they kind of said like, look, we're not going to be lifting a major trophy anytime soon or right away. But my God, are we going to play our hearts out and, you know, get everyone behind us on our journey? And I like that, man. Just waiting for this little tech pause to get out of the way, and then we can get the game started again.
Gowler's, of course, also streaming this one. No surprise.
Oh, yeah. I mean, literally, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. But to any Brazilian fans in here instead, in the English stream, welcome. Happy to have you. And we're getting back in, so no more waiting around. Force buyers come through for Sao Caetano, and they've got one gun and a bunch of pistoles. So let's see what they can do with this. Fallen still on the Deagle. I'm down. No, he had an AK dropped.
Alright, little B play. Looking to be the order of business.
Oh.
Elboni, it's damaged, but it's not the kill. Might look to give that AK over to someone else.
That gun almost got blown away.
As he's passing it, it's like a scene from Power Rangers, you know, just the explosion behind him. Okay, Fallen's gone. There's a couple more to hold the line.
Another team kill. Danico again killing Delboni. It was either revenge or that was the same as the pistol round. He's got a problem. Showtime, he's got a solution through the smoke, shooting down Fur. And that would have been a 3-on-3 with a kit on a retake. Now, a man down for Imperial. And FNX, he ain't having it.
Oh, man, when I see Vinny, I push like. I'm really that simple-minded. So let's see what he's able to engineer here. It might be a 300 IQ save, actually, as he backs on out of this one. And yeah, that's all well and good for Vinny personally. Not so good for Imperial, as that B site crumbles, considering that there really wasn't a lot bought into that round for Sao Caetano. And the fact that you were triple leaning B versus, you know, a hero rifle in a force buy, and it ends up getting snatched away from you, that's going to hurt a little.
Yeah, definitely. But that is why you force up in round 2, right? Or round 3, may only have 2k in the bank, but for good reason. Now you control economy, it's even harder for the CTs. Imperial only going to get pushed into more and more saves in spots like this.
So something that I think is kind of interesting, at least from early on here, is that, you know, whenever Vinny was back in Furia, it was his B holds that were phenomenal, and it's like now we kind of have him actually leaning over towards the A-bomb site, which kind of interesting to me. And you know, I mean, we've seen him lean pit in that little force buy round that they were able to pick up. I actually think that's a 6 spot for the guy.
Yeah. Bit of a gamer.
I wonder, does he still have the power gaming sleeve?
That's true. We'll have to get him on cam to find out. He's at the end of the table. I think it goes Bolts, FNX, Fallen, Fur, Vinny from left to right, I think. So We'll have to keep an eye. Maybe we can get a hand cam going.
Dude, something else that's actually really sick about Imperial is like you're really not shy on people to interview here, right? Like that used to be the thing, like with Furia back when Vinny was there. They would always send Art or Vinny. That was like the go-to. You knew who you were speaking to already. Whereas like with Imperial, I think you could speak to any of them.
Oh, he's hiding his hand behind the monitor.
Come
He
on,
doesn't want to leak
show
his
us
secret.
What we want to see.
Show us.
It doesn't go down to the elbow. It didn't look like he was wearing one.
Degloved. Are you a sleeve on or sleeve off gamer?
I would say...
If you're hesitating, it means you're a sleeve on gamer.
No, sleeve off.
I
thought about it more and more. The
game
sleeve gets in the way.
Yeah, if it's a power glove.
If it was like the power gauntlet, like Vinny wears, then I reckon because it's skin tight, right? That's like the whole thing there.
Yeah. It's all about skinny jeans. You don't have skinny sleeves in normal clothing.
Skinny jeans, Hugo.
Yeah.
Are attempting, and I don't know how successful it is, but the Zoomers are trying to make skinny jeans bad. They're saying that like you're a boomer, you're dumb if you wear skinny jeans. You look like
Harry, get off TikTok.
Well, you know,
cares?
I'm just telling you what the Zoomers think, what they're saying.
Who asked?
And they don't like them. They don't like the skinny jeans. And that's unfortunate for me because I just ordered 500 pairs because I thought they were all the rage.
Damn, you're raising the stocks. But either way, we've got a bit of a techie here holding on while we wait for the solutions to come through. Admin's, of course, on the sideline. And they are in the player hotel right now. Maui's there somewhere. Don't know where he is, hiding around the corner, waiting to talk to Fallen, I'm sure.
Oh, man, I bet he's been having a great time.
Yeah.
You know, out there with all the NA and SA, you know, squads, getting to see them, getting to hang out with them.
Especially nice he's not here with us. It's a, you know, a bit of breathing room.
I mean, dude, like, just imagine the vibe in that hotel. Like, there's just so many, like, legendary faces walking around. And I think after, you know, COVID, after the pandemic, we all kind of miss seeing one another. So I imagine the vibes are really good. I think that's been one of my favorite things to see is, like, teams actually getting to be with one another again and no longer confined to the bedroom, right? Like you, Hugo.
Yeah, it's we're out of our shell. We're out of our cave. And we've been doing just fine, Harry. But for now, I mean, even though we have everyone all the way over here in Europe, they're still playing the regional event, though. It's all like you're back at home, but at least we're mixing North and South America together. Not in this game, though.
And I mean, basically just South America. You know, there's so many South American teams.
That's the majority, right? Of course, you've got 7 full Brazilian rosters at this event. You've got 9 core Brazilian teams, right? If you count 00 Nation, who are 3BR, Argentinian and Guatemalan and Malbs, and of course Isros, who are 3BR and 2 Argentinians as well. Then you even have more, Harry. You've obviously got 5 NA, and then you've got these mixes I've had to write down because there's so many countries. You've got 9Z, which is 3 different countries represented, and Leviathan, which is Brazil, and 4 Argentinians. So yeah, there's just so much. There's so much representation. 3-4 years ago, or even looking back to this core of Imperial, right, when they were keyed, when Flusher was paying their travel bills to get to Europe for the first time, like that was. You know, that was for Brazil. That was the only country we were seeing represented on the big stage. And now we have, players like, I think Malbs is such a good example, someone we're very familiar with in 00 Nation, Guatemalan guy, only representative for his country, and a complete powerhouse of talent, like a beast, and one of the many that we've got at this event.
No, mate, for sure. I mean, it is super cool. Like one of my favorite things is where like the Brazilian community, but I like it when any community do it. They put up like old school LAN photos, and you see like
Fallen at
young
12.
Fallen like posting with like even younger Corsair, and it's like, oh, this is so sick, man. I mean, there's a lot of history here. There really is, and that's why this Imperial squad is specifically a one that you can really get behind, because they really are like the faces of Brazilian Counter-Strike, even when, teams like Furia were kind of risen above them in the rankings, and, they were very much the team that were, like, doing damage. You would be hard-pressed to find anyone that still wasn't, like, a huge Fallen fan.
Current form is one thing, but you don't forget history.
No, exactly,
you don't forget history. And, I mean, neither did we. We had some delays today to start the day, and so what were we doing in the green room? We were sitting back, and we were watching watching frag movies. We're watching 1.6 frag movies against Connor's wishes, but yeah, we watched some Echoes in Go. We watched a bit of Z-Block in Source, and then we went all the way back and watched some 1.6 as well. Some Pub Masters, some Annihilation. We went all over the place. So luckily we got some of the old heads like Blair and Banks who were able to fine-tune the best frag movies from their generation.
Yeah, I think I just heard in my ear that we're going to throw over to a little break, right? Because these tech problems being a little pervasive, it's all well and good. We'll be back in a moment where the game will resume, so don't go anywhere. Well, when we checked in last, we were 2-1 up on Inferno in favor of Sao Caetano, right?
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a force by wars to open up. I know there's been a slight delay here, so maybe you've forgotten, but we've had a very, very back and forth nature to open this one, right? Pissed around going in favor of Sao Caetano, then the force by back for Imperial, and then losing the follow-up, you know, in the force by wars.
It's going to keep going.
I'm assuming we keep going till someone wins 2 in a row. That's kind of where we're at right now. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was FNX or Fur. One of them saved an AK out of the round that we just witnessed before this little extended pause.
Yep.
And so they've got that to play with. That, for me, is going to mean that the force buy is going to keep coming through. Everything's sorted now, though, so we should be getting back into this one any second now.
Yeah, it's really nice to see everyone on cams as well. We got the player hotel just down the road, and you know, so many teams coming in through Bucharest over the next few weeks, right? I need to do the maths off the top of my head, but remember there is here 16 teams of the Americas RMR. We got 4 teams from the Asian RMR, and we of course have 2 European RMRs.
Yeah, I want to say the number was like 52 off the top of my head.
That would
maybe,
mathematically it's close or if not perfect, but you know, maybe we both do our research before we throw numbers out there into the wind. Either way, it's a hell of a lot of teams, it's a hell of a lot of players, and it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. And he's got the sleeve on, Harry.
He does.
He's got the sleeve on. He didn't have it earlier. That is a new addition since round 1.
With the sleeve, baby.
He got the sleeve. Okay, we're going. We're going. Thanks for waiting. Imperial, Sao Caetano, and round 4 is coming right down the barrel. FNX saved a Galil, and we got some guns.
Yeah, so I thought it was an AK, but it is a Galil, which is a little less tempting, but you're still going to keep these 4 spy wars rolling in. We've got M4s as well for Fur and Bolts. Vinny on the FAMAS.
See what this T defaulting looks like, right? It's Inferno. You can't really be running rushes on gun rounds, especially not when Molotovs are in play. Got to do their work first. So Banana getting taken, Apps getting loud here. That's going to keep Imperial with a standard setup. They lean long, that will free up a fast rotation, but they also want to clear brackets first to make sure that mid is empty before they pull anyone over to that B site. So a nice re-peek. Vinny's going to tuck in the cubby. Fallen's going to try and bait for him. It's a nice setup. Long smoke comes in though. Vinny, he knows it, he hears it, and he gets out of dodge. Fallen instead going to take that long side in case someone comes through on the fade. With mid getting taken, Sao Caetano are just playing with their food. Back to B they go.
Yeah, Fur's been boosted over towards CT. And Bolt's playing over towards Dark. It's a nice little crossfire, right? As all their attention goes the way of the back site player, you're hoping that Fur can get away with murder. These are the 2 M4s over in this B site. So Sao Caetano playing right into their hands. Fur, there's the first, trying to follow up, and Bolts is going to help him out. It's a lovely hold from Bolts. 3. QK doing what he can. But a 1 versus 3 to try and pull off. Oh dear, it's looking gnarly, isn't it? It's looking bad, and there it is. The bomb cut loose. Fallen steals it away. Imperial come in with a response. And the forces just don't know when to stop.
No, I mean, that buy was pretty damn good on the CT side, all things considered. It wasn't like, you know, SMGs and pistols. They had a safe gun, you know, full rifles pretty much almost. So yeah, it's looking good for Imperial, but will that stop the buys? No, don't be crazy. And I like the Sao Caetano. They're not bowing down. They're not giving over the respect here. They have faith in their T side. So it's going to get weaker before it gets stronger. 1 AK, 1 scout. This is where Imperial should level out right now, considering they lost pistol. Going 3-2 up here would be a delight. Banana taken this time by Imperial. Bit more of a flex. Re-smoke down bottom B. And with no grenades, really, to work with, Sao Caetano are going to try and walk up mid. Again, this double setup, Fallen. He might die here. He's very committed, very wide, but even if he does, they won't be ready for Vinny, and Fallen not going down without a fight. Doesn't need to smoke himself off. They've got it instead, and now Fallen's got to wrap back as they set up towards short.
Yeah, Imperial are very, very excited at the prospect of finally winning out these force buys and getting away with that early man advantage. Now they're just going to play a lot safer, right? Maintaining this crossfire over at the long smoke. Vinny tucked into the cubby. They will check for him. That's a nice opener for Danico. Fallen's repositioned onto the short side, and Fur... Oh, they won't come through it. Instead, Fallen, another headshot, mate. He's clean with this AK. Boney misses that timing. Fallen now solely responsible for this A-site hold, right? He does have Fur over towards long. He does have some support. But if they deal with him, they could get into A. The bomb is still a long way from home. And even though Fallen's run down, the bomb is going towards B.
Nice.
Delboni is selling one hell of a fake right now. Bolts has moved over. And when that plant comes in, they're going to be so surprised. How long will it take him to realize that it's a B-side plant?
Very quiet. It's awfully quiet, and Bolts is out of there. I like that Delboni didn't even commit, right? He got out on short after Fallen died, so he's already cut off 1 of 2 points of rotation. At this point, they know it's a CT wraparound, and Showtime, he's looking for the fight early. Doesn't commit with it, but no need to. Bolts' clock is not favoring him, and he is looking out. Trying to save this gun, perhaps, but Showtime's got to cross eventually, and at this point, it's a guaranteed round. It's just whether you get the gun. Bolt should have this one, and he does. So 3-2, just when you think Imperial are back on the board and ready to build, Sao Caetano keep those force buys coming. I think we even call them rifle rounds at this point, Harry. That's what it feels like. There's so many guns, but not for Imperial. Gun given over. Bolt's going to rebuy. And to be honest, I'm kind of surprised Sao Caetano wanted to play Inferno. Of course, it's a pretty safe map for everyone involved, but you know, this is one that, especially for the core of this Imperial team, they've had great success on over the years. It's one that even with this roster, they've been frequenting as well in these recent games. So, and coming out with a lot of success too. I mentioned their debut in Europe. They played a couple of games here, officials. They bopped Mao's NXT 16-4 on this map. That's really good considering the form that, you know, even that academy squad has had as of late, taking games away from, you know, serious like contenders in tier 2 online. So yeah, I think that's impressive. I'm kind of surprised that Sao Caetano hand shook this map into the pool, but hey, here we are. And right now they're doing the work.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting, right? They've said to Bolts, like, good luck, bro. You've got B, and we're going to quad lean over here towards A with this triple short side setup. This is 3 different angles of elevation, right? It's not going to be... oh, they're dismantling it. The timing on that, man.
It gets hurt as well.
Fallen dead over in the apartments. Right? They heard him drop off. They knew that someone could look to come that way. And so the patience is rewarded for Sao Caetano.
Now they're going to just pop out mid here, right? Fur's on and off angle, and he's going to deal with the first. No trade, that spacing, not ideal. Fur's wide, he didn't see that Danico already got out, so now this long wrap can be applied. Doesn't have to be. B's always an option. There's only one man here, not that Sao Caetano know that, but they still have Showtime up Banana.
20 seconds though, B is no longer an option, and so you've got to commit to the A play. Vinny down in the pit has support from FNX, and that's the bomb cut loose. No. Vinny's Deagle, it always looks to deliver, and he will lock in the third, or the second rather. Showtime can't do a thing, too far removed. He was the one over at Banana. And having to come back in late, he really did hinge on his team getting into the site with so little time left, with FNX being an unknown quantity over in the apartments. Imperial, they respond. I'm not even going to say they stole the round away anymore, because it's just par for the course at this point.
It more felt like a blunder on Sao Caetano's part, right? Like you mentioned the clock. It felt like they were indecisive. Showtime's still looking for a B pick, like going like full Shiro there at top B, while the rest of his team are like sat around on short, like, yo, what do we do? Are we going? Are we rotating? Are we committing? And so yeah, numbers weren't great there. Trading wasn't great either initially. And yeah, good hit hold from Vinny and co to keep that round alive. All 3 of his kills coming from pit so far for Vinny. Playing that round closer. Showtime's got a gun, might have to gift it over. He's on 30 health. Well, can't give it to Danico. He's dead in middle already. Crossfire getting taken. Imperial fighting for mid. Trying to fight for B, but flashed out eventually. Bolts has got a call for help. Fur will provide. Sao Caetano drawn to a pause here in middle. Showtime still looking for a B pick on that rifle. But no one's giving away anything in B. You can see on the minimap how safe that crossfire is. And I do like this Imperial, you know, they have no problem playing very passive setups on the CT side when you have so many audacious, aggressive players. That can be sometimes hard to slow yourself down, but they're fine in doing so.
Ooh. Okay,
Yep.
He went back in and gets the dink off. Fallen. Gonna get bested over on the long side.
Hello.
Now the wrap is in. They're starting to make their way over towards B. Fur's moving back to consider this. He hears the footsteps now. Bolts can lend a helping hand, drawing the attention away, dropping the bomb, and now it's cut loose over in CT. Showtime has to go get it, but instead he's fighting forward into the site, and this is just gonna leave you with not enough time. Imperial have won this round, whether the kills come in or not. And so there they are, up onto 4. Finally, the money is gone for one of these teams. Sao Caetano just going to have to take an eco round now. And Fallen's even going to get dropped an AWP versus the pistols.
Now that is a very dangerous call, but you know, let's see if it comes back to bite. Either way, I think Imperial are just finally glad that, oh, we've got the money for an AWP, let's do it. Fallen's been waiting for it. It's Inferno after all, CT side. Can't doubt him, but yeah, finally 2 rounds in a row, and round number 8 is our first eco attempt for Sao Caetano. Or for anyone. Glocks, and Vinny wants them. You can leave NA, but NA won't leave you. And really, this is just about getting even 1 kill would be a success for Sao Caetano in a round like this. They've not spent a penny.
I kind of loved it, in spite of like still holding the smoke, still having util. Imperial are just fighting for banana. It's like, look, they physically cannot beat us here. Right, we should have this dead to rights, and they do.
Another team kill! Chill, guys. It's the Ds. It's Danico. It's Delboni. They keep team killing. They're obsessed.
That's the 3rd one. Although, weirdly enough, like we are 8 rounds in. It might not feel like it because we haven't actually had rifles versus rifles yet. We're finally going to get it here in round number 9.
I mean, it's crazy that we've seen this many team kills in, like, mostly with Glocks, but
1 every 3 rounds on average.
And only 2 culprits just shooting each other back and forth. Good stuff. Hopefully can stop that now. It's not good for anyone. But attack for Imperial coming into the first gun round. Maybe a reminder of, all right, guys, these first 8 rounds were not representative of what this game is going to be. Sao Caetano is certainly going to come in with something different now. They've got the nades, they've got the guns, and they've got every reason to wake up. And these previous rounds have not been indicative of a normal game, just with the way the forces have come through.
Is Fallen going to look to throw that little mid-smoke over here from spawn? Looks like it.
Smoke.
This is going to give you some early round options for Imperial. Falls nice and deep, so you can try to play around it, but instead they just lob the util down middle and then respect the smoke.
Also means if you want to throw like a molly or a nade mid, you don't need to be first spawn, right? Like say you're a short player or you're an apps player, you don't have to go mid and like dangerously cross or anything. You can do it with a bad spawn as well. If anything, a nade might be more effective with a bad spawn because then the T's are already out and you dunk them. So yeah, just way safer. And like you said, more options and more fear of aggression.
It's kind of interesting how they keep, you know, leaving bolts on these solo B holds. I think firstly, you know, he kind of showcased early on that he's very, very capable at locking down this B site. But on top of that, I almost wonder if maybe they have like a bit of a hunch, bit of a read that Sao Caetano have been loving this A bomb site. Fer playing anti-flash. Takes a lot of faith in your team, right, to just stare into this wall in middle.
Yeah. Especially when your teammate's smoked off on long.
Yeah, that's where the double short side's nice, though, right? To still try and keep this pressure in check. Lovely flick for Fallen. Delboni on the receiving end. FNX now alongside Fer. Gonna churn up the top mid play. The Eagle for the fourth won't quite find it, but still a 1-on-3 required, and Fallen scoped up, wants it all.
What year is this?
Take it. Beautiful scenes here on Inferno.
Was that FNX or Kiebi? I couldn't tell. That was a shaky spray, but it got the job done. 3 frags in the middle, and all while his teammates staring into the wall as well. Fantastic stuff. And yeah, Fallen hitting both his AWP shots fired. Certainly feels nice. 6-3, and broken by yet again for Sao Caetano. Back to the pistols. Now, if you haven't done any rushing, if they were ever around, this is the round. And yeah, it feels like they're going to do it. Right up Banana with 3. Bomb's still on ramp, you'll note, so this is not commit, but they're going to throw a lot of players up B early, get the util out. And to be fair, Boltz's grenades have been really, really good. He's always been 50 damage at least down Banana with HEs, so they wait the nades and then they recommit.
Yeah, second volley goes in, right, but they run through the Molotov. Fer up and over again, right, throwing up onto the boost. They've done well to keep this nice and clean on the side of Imperial. A 5-on-3 retake now as that bomb. It is planted at least. Sao Caetano have got that to play around. They're going to look to double up over here. So likely going to try and push to take some of this real estate over towards Ruins. And they hit a good timing. Vinny's caught with util out. Don't let this one get out of hand, Imperial. Fer will rise to the occasion. Dealing with Showtime. Ready for the second man. It's all Delboni. League out. Bomb time is fairly low. He's in a bit of a chance.
Get on it!
They don't realize where it's planted. He's won it! Another deep shot for Delboni. It's going to be so close. And I think, wow, he just got it.
They didn't know. They smoked default
because they saw him banana. Yeah, they thought it was the banana.
They smoked default, and they're like running around in the smoke. Like, I can't defuse. Where is it? And you know, if they ran right for the bomb, which they didn't see, that's the round. That's a done deal. It's not for him, like you said. The players got past him and then went back. Oh my goodness. That's an unbelievable clutch. Delboni does it alone. You can see, yeah, the hesitation. Wait, I want it? Yeah, okay. My God. That is not a round that should be getting won by Sao Caetano, and it is simply the plant position that does it, and the post-plant position. Wow. Up to 4 now, and a reality check for Imperial, losing a round like that. ZQK with a Yorp now. And like I said, Fallen's had his since the second money was available, which was pretty late. More grenades doing good work in apartments. But he gets a bomb out. Fallen looks for that B pick, but they're walking up on him right now. Util getting thrown. He's trapped by a Molotov. He's got to go down with his ship. He's got to take something here. The flash, he sees it, but he won't hit the shot. It's going to be an entry for Showtime. He was trapped. Nowhere to go.
Yeah, Fer's been called for, right? Rotating over. Gonna elect to up and leave. It's the right read. This bomb is over in top mid right now on the back of Delboni. Imperial still 3 strong here. Sao Caetano, will they be ready for that?
God, these nades. 3 of them thrown and so much damage.
Quick up the short side. FNX dead right away.
Wow.
Vinny's fallen as well. Fer's got to do it all, and he's backed into a corner. Good for the double, but not enough to steal the round away. And ultimately, Bolts, poor old Bolts over towards that B site, just so far removed. He's got no choice but to save. And so, you know, Sao Caetano able to get ahead in that one. Right? Not just the opener to Fallen over at Banana, but then going on to crunch back into that A site. There was a really nice kind of staggered apartment set up for Imperial that you wouldn't have even known about, really, with how cleanly Sao Caetano dealt with it.
Yeah, really nice entry work on A, right? Like if that isn't as clean as the double entry there, they probably just lose the round due to time. Fur probably gets more than 2 with his teammates alive in pit naps, but yeah, not going to happen. Clean entries for Sao Caetano, and they're building into this one. 5 now on the T side. And this has been, you know, as I said in that round, like they've been getting bullied by utility all game. Bolts' I want to see the utility damage. Bolts' nades have been incredible, but he was not the only one in that round. 3 of them thrown. A very hard double setup to clear there with that bulk pit position, but they do it well. Economy has been the name of the game for this map, and, well, it continues. Imperial broken yet again. Just that save door. Bolts, team player, threw it over to Fallen. And he's starting A.
Looking to do some combat. Combat AWPing is Fallen.
No way, they've seen him and they're... Wait, what? I thought they saw him. They're just boosting on the bulk. Fallen? He is just inches from death. There was a player jump spawning. I really thought that they had some info.
Oh, AWP v AWP. Barrel seen! Uh-oh! ZQK betrayed by the big barrel.
Yeah, nice cycle it out.
I don't know, man. You see the AWP. That's all you've seen so far. I don't think you realize necessarily the full extent of the limitations yet for Imperial. So even though they retrieved the AWP, they didn't juggle the AK out of mid. That could come into play in a retake. You just need these guys in the site to thin the herd. Fallen dead, running the smoke in the site. Vinny and his P250 getting overwhelmed, but he's good for a double before all is said and done.
Okay.
Imperial in a 2-on-2 in a round where they didn't really put a lot into it other than that AWP, so they may as well look to give this one a go.
Bolts has his kit saved. You know, time isn't the problem anymore. They haven't got the guns back. Bolts is trapped and keeping up the pressure. Oh dear, he's trying to buy time for walking up short side, but they don't know that both players are in the bomb site right now. Low on ammo, low on health, and Fur hits the headshot. They're going to crunch him together. Oh! Nice transfer from Delboni, and he saves the day for Sao Caetano. What a round. That was quick, lightning fast. Just 180s back to default. And if they got that kill, they had time. Bolter's kit was there in the site. So, whew, almost an eco 1 by Imperial. They got to be happy with the round either way, but this is still a very good T site getting built up.
Well, buys back in for Imperial, but it does have some limitations, right? Bolts on a FAMAS, not an AWP in sight. Okay, either, so that will be important to bear in mind if this comes down to a retake.
Yeah, kits on Inferno are simultaneously the most and least important thing in the world. Oh, well, grenades have been good for Bolts, but they send one right back his way. First class. His will still do a good bit of damage. Triple B for Sao Caetano. Maybe just wanting to execute. This would be a really safe round to just run double smoke. That's all they've got. 2 smokes, 2 flashes and molly. 3 smokes, rather. One will go out into middle. And Imperial are starting to lean back to B, Fallen on that early rotate. He's still playing the gap towards Archway, but it means he can be steadfast towards the CT spawn. It's not announced, it's a contact smoke flash play. They're popping in and there's a missed smoke, big gap. Fur gonna shoot through it, finds a second kill on the end, and Fallen is playing the hole. He's looking for the pick as they try and get comfortable in the site. They can't, bomb dropped over the top at ZQK, and they're gonna come right at him with the boost. Oh,
missed shot. Oh, it's getting so awkward. So many targets, but so little time. ZQK, run! And he can't get away. I think that was an ace for Fur, if I'm not mistaken. Man, that is brutal. Crazy scenes. 20 and 8 on this guy. And I mean, you know, that isn't some like mismatch pistol push-up banana that you ace. That is a full investment that he churns through.
Yeah, the smoke cooked it, man. The CT, that's the danger of like throwing an on-the-fly B-pop like that. Like if you have an execute, you know, it's a risk reward. The smokes are gonna land perfectly, but they're telegraphed. They're going over the top. That's what someone throwing it from, you know, sandbags, and sometimes it bounces wrong. Sometimes you throw it too far, and it double bounces, and then you have that huge gap that just gets wrecked by Imperial. Nice round out of third. 20-8 on this guy. Players like FNX barely had to do anything this game. Save them for later. Save them for the T side.
Inferno's been so mobile as well, right? Like we spoke about how Bolts has oftentimes been left to just solo play this B bomb site, and I mean that's freed Fer up massively. It feels like no matter where you're going, you're running into this guy who's having a phenomenal game. Oh, Vinny gonna get the apartments play under wraps, right? And with it, the bombs now dropped out in the open. Vinny with a third.
Not ready for the fourth. Was barely ready for the third. Showtime hits two though. Fallen's orb gone, and Bolts climbs up. Showtime looks aware. There's a player in ult. Bolts has dropped off, and Showtime's hunting this kill. Oh, that was how he was on for it. He was feeling the 1v5 there. Able to isolate some duels, but it's still Imperial winning the half at a bare minimum. Got to be happy with that. Can they go any further? 2K a player. And it wouldn't be a bad round to see that B rush for Sao Caetano, not with his smoke, but the one B rush they did win with those pistols. So maybe back to that for the last of the half. Little tacky first, though. Keep things together. Fallen keeping his headshot percentage high. He's AWPing, and he's still got 75%. AWP for AWP here.
Kind of bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah. He's done a lot of rifling, though. Keep in mind that AWP didn't come out till round, what, 8? So...
hilariously, the first time it could come out.
Yeah.
What with how this started.
No. You know, worth going for against Eco. But won't overcommit. Bolts eats a nade at B. They've started to get the better of him there. Oh, he hit the molly. He got a fall off of apps after that one. FNX doesn't want to commit. Flash through mid. They jump the smoke.
Vinny swinging, good for a double. Gonna get out of there and just look to play the numbers game. Now with support down in the pit, FNX and Fallen finding a killer piece. It's all left onto old mate Del Boney.
No teammates to kill.
That's something at least. Whoa. There is a push on the short side as well, so he really was cooked. I just don't think he realized it yet. Imperial, 9-6 at the end of that first half of play. And I mean, you know, the very back and forth nature that the first, 7 rounds or so very much encompassed. Brought to a bit of a close there at the end by Imperial, who since winning out that force really did go on a tear and regain control of this game.
Yeah, it's been exciting, right? We've definitely seen good signs from Sao Caetano. Some of these players stepping up individually. You know, no problems on the T side in terms of how they were playing. Yeah, a couple of little mistakes always going to be made, like that smoke problem, but it's just off the back of running that contact B pop. Otherwise, yeah, nothing disappointing. But for Imperial, which is of course the big talking point. Players that we want stepping up for, looking like a monster like always. Fallen not really missing with the AWP. Vinny holding down pit. I mean, all the signs are there for Imperial. Let's see how their T side looks. They're not going to get to wait around. Rush down middle, and they have no idea yet. Vinny, he sees everyone. Good flash. A couple of kills come through to the favor of the T side. Del Boney still pushing the issue, still poking and prodding. There's a player bottom middle. Bolts doesn't know. Oh. No one does. No one's looking up or down. Bolts will escape, and he's seen 2 there.
Oh man, Bolts was looking danger dead in the face, and he manages to get out alive. Delboni brought to his knees. Fur 3 in the round. Oh, can't find any more. Oh. It's FNX to close it with a little double.
There we go. 3 for him, in fact. And yeah, you said, what we said, we'll wait till the T side to see FNX perform. And, well, the pistol is already where he picks it up. Funny that. Sao Caetano, I like the attempt, but gets a bit iffy very quickly. Imperial also ready for that. As soon as Vinny gets the first spot on that mid-fight, a flash comes over the top from Fallen, I think it was, and Sao Caetano are just, everyone's blind in middle, pretty screwed from the get-go.
Slowest round here, and Fallen lining up these flashes to help Bolts take Banana away. It's a good opener that goes untraded. Molly strips away this banana control, and Fallen's taking it one step further by extending this advantage. Showtime retrieving the scout. Ooh, it's another tag. 3 players are now low from this one gun, but they're just trading peaks really efficiently. You know, they're never throwing a lamb to the slaughter. Elboni dead on the smoke, and it's all left onto just one man in a 1v5. Imperial looking like they're going to not allow any of this force by funny business to come in the second half.
I feel like that's like the closest yet cleanest round I've ever seen, right? I felt like every one of those fights, Sao Caetano were favored, and they lost all of them, right? Or not favored, but, you know, hitting scout shots and then getting like the gun cocked ready for the second shot and still getting insta headshot. Oh, he jumped by accident. Well, back to the drawing board. Another dink.
Another dink.
Another dink.
Like,
4
look
players.
At the health, man.
4 players low. That's what I mean. Closest, cleanest round yet. But yeah, like you said, Imperial, they don't want to go back to that first half. They don't want to buy fully on 8 rounds in. They want to just shut this series out quick. And they certainly might be able to. Full eco here is going to put them on 12. And then the guns come out.
It's a bit of a classic, the full B lean. Oh, well, bomb is going that way. I was going to say, you know, it looks like they were going to lean in towards an A play, and they are now coming back. Even Bolts, who's about to get flashed, he manages to get behind the half wall. Fallen's trying to help, but he does have that bomb, so he's got to get out of there. Now they've seen numbers, they know that this is a heavy push down Banana, and they're going to run amok in this A bomb site, taking it quickly. There was definitely a world where that could have got out of hand, but Fallen not one to overplay his hand in moments like that. Keeps the round locked in.
Yeah, a couple of casualties, but ultimately it doesn't matter too much. As long as you can save the rifles, the SMG's dead just means you don't have to play bonus. Danico, anything on the exit? Right by him with a crossfire. And Vinny seen him, so it's going to be nice and clean. Takes an AK instead, 12-6. This is it, folks. This is the game. Resting on a rifle round for Sao Caetano. You lose it, and you are walking, you know, off the plank, as it were. AWP for ZQK. 4 rifles for Imperial.
Yeah, ZQK has been very, very quiet. Obviously, he was T-side, right? And there was a kind of rough scenario with all the forces early on, so we didn't get to see too many AWPs in his hand. Well, now he's donning it CT half. This is where I'm hoping he can kind of pick it up a little bit, right? And give Sao Caetano that extra push. It's not like Fallen's been necessarily dominating the game with the AWP on the other side, but he has definitely been the better of the two.
I feel like Fallen hasn't missed a shot. Maybe he's not had like so many opportunities, but I haven't seen him miss a shot yet on the AWP. So, but yeah, definitely it's a hard comparison to make when you've got a T-side AWPer who, you know, you think Fallen didn't have a lot of AWPs. Well, ZQK had even less. So, getting ready to run a BXX, or at least they were, till that top B smoke came in. And so now they're going to spread back out, fan out across the map. Deep long smoke. Feigning a mid to B, and might not be a feign, might even be a take once they've got Archway. They'll only spamming the smoke. Fallen going back to line up a re-smoke of that utility. It will be a hit after all. B players come back and they're ready to go.
Yeah, this smoke cutting out the long side is left to 5-on-2 inside of the A side. Now that's the bomb on Fallen, dropped it short, and so suddenly the alarm bells are now going off.
Hello?
UK flicks back to Vinny, and Showtime's dealt with bolts over at the long side. Suddenly it's all on FNX, and even though he's good for the first two, all right, I spoke too soon, he's in with a chance. Low HP, low time, and FNX whittled down. Will finally get bested. It's a damn good attempt in the 1v4 with like 15 seconds as he gets the bomb back, but unfortunately that double setup between Long and Pit just a little too strong considering the circumstances, right?
Nice shooting, but no time to really do anything but hold your W key and hope that they, whiff their shots, really. If he has more time, maybe there's a hope. Very nice opening from ZQK, right? I got a bit scared. He was getting walked on by Vinny on long side. You saw the reaction once Fallen died. It screwed the entire hit because not only did your apps player have to double back and go back for bomb, but Vinny also did the same from long side. So Imperial suddenly, it's essentially a one-man hit into the bomb site or a two-man hit while everyone else runs back for the package. So it was never going to work, and no clutches today. Nice shooting for ZQK anyway. The AWP is a hefty investment. It's got to be coming in with high impact like that. And so Fallen will pull his out as well.
Return to one of these kind of slower defaults earlier on. Gonna look to strip away Banana. Then maybe have Fur work the apartment's control, right? And from there, kind of based on what you see, based on the interactions and the engagements that you get, they can look to make up their mind later. Got enough util to throw in a bit of a fake as well if they wanted to, right? You got this early utility going in over towards B, but really you're just hoping to kind of jiggle around some rotates, force some util out. It's the wrap smoke that goes in. I can't imagine they're going to look to use it. You at least know you've caused a bit of chaos with that util there. It has. It's brought a third man over towards B. ZQK joining the ranks of the B hold.
Very clear though. Now they know. Aggro down B, it's a full flank. Showtime's running it right now, Harry. There's 20 seconds. It couldn't be more clear. It couldn't be more obvious. He's got to be careful. Fallen's going to hear these steps running up right behind. He starts walking. Is Fallen aware? Doesn't look like it. Scoped up. Showtime backstabs, and now 5-on-2. It's falling apart at the seams. Every kill, as every player was in position for Sao Caetano. FNX, he's been seen, he's been heard, and he will be killed after time if Showtime gets his way. Lovely frag at the end. No money for FNX, and no real money for Imperial at all.
Yeah, it kind of felt like they didn't actually know where Showtime was or what, because the player at long, immediately after Fallen died, I think it was Vinny, but maybe I'm wrong, like, immediately turns around to look at long, and it's like, obviously we know with all the X-ray, with all the info, he's out in middle. He can't shoot you. Yeah. And even you know, in the attempt at the save there, Fur kind of looked a little lost as to exactly where Showtime could have gotten to.
Like Fallen, you look at that and you go like, oh, why didn't Fallen like turn around? The player's running behind him. Well, that's an AWP right there. Like you're staring your crosshair, you're staring on the scope. You're not looking at the map. You hear footsteps behind you that early in a hit, and you actually think it's your teammate running right behind you, maybe late to middle or something. So that's why Fallen's not turning around either. And of course, very fast flank. The second Imperial left B, there was a re-flash aggro play, and Sao Caetano cleared it out. So right now we're seeing like the standard CT stuff look really, really good for Sao Caetano, as much as it was for Imperial as well, if not better. in the early half. So yeah, this round's a bit puggy, just scrimming out A. Fallen gets a clock kill, but otherwise it's 3 alive for Sao Caetano, and that's fine. Yeah, dude, this is not a done deal. This is not a one game by Imperial yet. They've got to be very careful. Caetano creeping back in.
And, you know, a big part of this is ZQK's AWP being so much more impactful, so much more involved. You know, since it's been bought out, he had that lovely little, like, double kill round over towards the short side on the A-pop where he dropped the bomb. That round there, he's able to get the situation over under control from Moto. It's just night and day, and, you know, that's kind of the nature of swapping from the T side to the CT side as an AWPer here on Inferno. Oh. Vinny attempts to make a timing play out into middle, but he doesn't find the gap he thinks he has.
He heard the Moiler. Oh dear. Oh dear, this could get messy, this could get bad. That Molotov is so big, but they still want to go through. That's a bomb. Jumping, they've got to trade Fallen, they can't. ZQK hits everything and everyone. Bolts finally trades. A 2-on-3 now into the bomb site. Delboni back in close call. The barrel did stick through. Yeah, I saw that as well. They did too. They've cleared it out. And Bolts has now opened up that A site. An awkward bug that might lose Sao Caetano the round.
Dude, that's going to be devastating. They knew he was there. They knew they had him trapped. It's given them a path to the 2v2. Oh. FNX nails showtime. And for Danico, it's going to get cut down as well. So Bolts and FNX able to pull that one back. A 2 versus 4 that goes the way of Imperial.
Yeah, that is super awkward. Like,
and
well
of course
played.
The bug, it sucks.
Yeah,
you know?
Imperial capitalize on it. Like, you can never take that away from them. They win a very difficult round, but like, that's, you know, if Delboni, was it Delboni on the boost? Like, if he just goes 1-for-1 there, and they probably don't even clear it, it's a very different round. So that's super awkward after ZQK gets that double on Porch side. Man, that one's really got to hurt. And Sao Caetano don't even know, like, why Imperial are hard clearing their corner. Yeah, we saw that. I think we saw that at Stockholm as well, to be honest. So maybe something to fast track to Valve. But very awkward indeed. 13-9, and still a crazy round out of Imperial. But as you know, as we've seen, a good CT side out of Sao Caetano anyway. The 3 rounds they've won have been very clean. I'm not gonna let that put the doubt in just yet.
Well, if they do lose this round, Hugo, they are left with nothing up against 14. So if Imperial wanted to get this one over and done with before ever having to worry about the comeback, it's by winning this round here and now. And that is a beautiful way to open it from Fallen.
Okay.
Yeah, there was no barrel sticking through that time, was there?
Oh, just, yeah. Wow. Laying down pipe on the B site. Imperial would be a perfect round to just run a B execute, but we've not really seen much tendency towards B in this map for anyone. ZQK on an off angle. Oh my god, how do they see him there? They're further from the angle, but man, walking in, felt like he had it. And that really hurts. It's one of your few opportunities you're going to get for an early fight. And now that the bomb's been seen going back up middle, he's going to, or they're going to rather rotate B. So will he. So will Delboni. What a read for Sao Caetano to make this gamble in such an important round and pull 3 players onto that B bomb site. Imperial are running an execute though. Let's see how it fares.
Yeah, Vinny going to lead the charge with the MAC-10. ZQK dead on a bit of a smoke walk, and Delboni will smoke spam out 1, taking the attention away from Danico, who's playing around Imperial's sight smoke. He's good for the double, makes it a 3rd, looking to deny the B play, and it is clean. Danico saves the day.
Did Imperial throw that?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, they've been throwing
it's the wrap smoke that they've thrown a bunch, right?
Yeah.
That's the only reason I believed it was them.
I don't know if it's like a bit of conditioning attempt because they've been throwing it all game or all T-side, but like when when you're running a B execute, that smoke is not that helpful. When you have Coffins and CT already down, look at how he's able to manipulate it and play around it. It just, you know, like, what are you hoping to fight for? Obviously, they get what they want in terms of those CT players swinging through the spawn smoke, but yeah, in terms of having that one in the way, it's not too helpful. $13-10 and an eco for Imperial. Very awkward round. And let's see if they can recover it with just a faster approach. One smoke's all they got, it goes in, so does a molly. Two of them past it, two of them behind it, and two of them dead. Fur's gonna find one, but there's no recovering this, you'd think.
Onto the AWP now, Fur!
What am I doing?
Doubles up! Trying to make you eat them words. Vinny with the bomb plant in the meantime. A gun for him to retrieve as well. They're in with the chance on the side of Imperial. These rotations are still a ways away, so a lot of time allowed to tick off of this bomb. Retake smoke in at Banana. Fur isn't going to play ahead of it. Instead, he just waits. Sitting in it. Vinny is all alone right now, and he needs to have a bit of a play. Him nice. And Fur cut down. So Sao Caetano do manage to get that retake off.
Yeah, for an eco, you got to be happy with that.
I actually really like how poised they were. You know, like I think a lot of teams, especially when, you know, Fur's come in with a double opener like that, the bomb's just gone down. You might be tempted to scramble a retake very, very quickly to try and apply pressure, try and catch them as they're, you know, retrieving the guns and arming themselves. But Sao Caetano just go, no, you know, we've got full faith in our retake. We've got this smoke for Banana. We've got the util to get ourselves in. We can play a trade game when we get there. And so it's very, very measured, but just full faith in the system throughout.
Oh, smoke still in spawn. Someone got to get it. Yeah, and as I said, this game not done, right? Like, especially... or rather, even with that little 2-on-4 out of Imperial on the A side. In terms of gun rounds, the majority have come through for that CT. Ooh. Great grenade up top B, does a lot of damage to Danico in showtime. And now it's just one man on B. We can see the panic already setting in with Imperial being so loud at top Banana. Sao will pull 3 players over to the site, swapping out Danico now, allowing Delboni to take his place. And Imperial, that's exactly what they wanted. Look at the commotion they've caused in spawn. These players running around, trading spots, picking up utility. They're very scared.
We're going to throw this boost in just in time. FNX working the apartments while the rest of the gang on Imperial are all sat outside of B. Molly down. Showtime looking like he wants to pop this smoke at some point as the B play comes in. And he tries to get ahead of it, but ends up on the receiving end of Fallen's Galil. Now Danico in pole position to steal this round back, but it's only 1 kill from him. That was the bomb spotted. There's still a big lurk for FNX coming in. However, Vinny, once again, alone in the site, fighting as best he can. Now, they don't know where FNX is, and the longer they take, the more time they give him. They're turning around, they're cognizant of it.
Wow.
And they're going to deny the wrap.
Wow. I can't believe they read that, right? Like, he should either be Banana or CT, and Banana is seriously the likely option, but just one step ahead. Don't know if there was info earlier that they had, you know, realizing, yeah, FNX is that guy who's going to be lurking mid, coming out boiler late on the B pops. But that's for a Banana plant, that's a very audacious turnaround for Sao. Nice round on the retake yet again, and they are closing this gap. There's 1 round difference between the teams, and this is a bit of a broken bye for Imperial. First, 28-17. But it is certainly more of a team effort across on the other side. Fast up middle, they run through the deep smoke, gives them a little more room to move, and there's no one holding it. They have a great timing. Delboni's going to hear this, though. You know, can't stop them. They're wrapping this A site already.
Oh, they've run it in from 2 angles. Fur, lovely opener. And with assistance from Vinny, hoping that this could be the recipe for a round winner. Showtime. Right now, all his attention is on CT, but they're simultaneously playing up Banana. He's got to have eyes in the back of his head, and unfortunately, he's already cut down on the push. Danico and ZQK might have to be the save. Already leaning out of the round. Imperial, it's quick, it's speedy, it's Tech-9's running down the long play and wrapping the B site that find them 14.
You mentioned that they attacked that library player from 2 angles, and I think that's a really cool detail because, you know, you never see that before. And the reason that happens is because a part of that fast rush, firstly, it looked like it was going to be A initially, but part of that fast rush was that they threw a moto smoke. And so that allowed Fur to literally just run through the long side and enter library from middle and be completely safe from A. You know, somewhat of that is a read like, yeah, they're starting triple B, they're throwing nades, so we know we have timing. But then the other part is, yeah, not only are we going to run down the long guy, we're going to split him from Arch and library. I've never seen that before. It's a really cool idea for Imperial. And that's one way to win an eco, man. Get the pressure off. Final tack timeout, though.
I mean, dude, something that's like even more wild is that in a lot of these rounds, Sao Caetano have been playing, you know, you say like they've had these triple B leans. When they haven't done that, they've often kind of had this like long control being held by someone like Delboni, and then they set up double on short side, sometimes with a boost employed. And, you know, if they kind of gone back to something that they've been doing time and time again on this CT half, they probably could have shut that down. But it's like the one round where they try to switch it up, they try to get a little bit varied. They're immediately punished for it. And that might make them kind of get more set in their ways and go back to what was working.
Yeah, so is that the mind game of, you know, going for a quicker B take and like actually committing? Because every time Imperial take Banana, they stop, they go quiet for 40 seconds or 30 seconds, and then they recommit with a smoke. Like now, look, Harry, it's your exact idea, right? 4 on A to begin the map or begin the round. Showtime solo B, not even with any more util after he dumps it down. Imperial, they're poking their head. They're trying to see what's up on B. Showtime went back to spawn, and actually that was cool for Sao Caetano. They left a full belt of utility in spawn, so he gets 2 sets, but it still allowed them to play 4A. However, Imperial do want to execute that B bomb site, it seems. Although, that's the way of Inferno. You never know until they go.
I wouldn't want to be going in a top mid anytime soon.
No.
This setup is... You shouldn't really get past it. If you somehow manage to get out of this still looking pretty, Imperial have done a damn good job. That molly to displace the Porch player is a thing of beauty, and Bolts follows up. All right, they've broken apart this quad hold in the top of mid, reducing it down to just 2. And they're not even content with that, mate. They're still feigning the B play. They're still sending more misdirection the way of Sao Caetano.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they've been throwing that smoke. You can see Vinny wanted to go top blue with it. It's a good play, but they're ready for it. And now a 5-on-3 is falling apart at the seams. Delboni, as a flash pops, he still dies. FNX gets that kill. And Bolt's on 9 health are going to get the stick. No one here to stop him. Sao Caetano, they want to go. They really want to give it a go, but they can't stop this one.
Fallen's the only guy with any HP in this post plant, so he kind of needs to open up with the first. He needs to be onto a winner. Showtime, getting past him. But this could actually work in Fallen's favor. Come in late with a bit of a backstab, and there it is. Showtime on the receiving end. And ZQK is saving. He's out of there. Imperial are up onto 15. You know, maybe more crucially than that, the reason why he's lent into this save in spite of the low health, in spite of the 2-on-3, is the money. The money is gone for Sao Caetano. Up against 15. This AWP is really the only thing to write home about. They've been broken bad, and we better call Sao Caetano.
Yeah, Sao Caetano. I like that. It was pretty good.
It was like, there was a line there.
Yeah, no, good stuff. Well done. Proud of you. I'm not going to run down that metaphor.
You're actually allowed to wreck me for this. I haven't seen either of those shows.
Yeah, actually, that's a. Oh, yeah, right. That is a very bad take. I'm gonna get to you later on that one. That's a. Ooh, I'm angry now.
This all for ZQK's got to do the heavy lifting. It is the big ticket item in this round, and it's got to be the one ticket that keeps you on the train that is Inferno.
One ticket for 5 men, Harry? I don't know. It sounds like they're gaming the system.
I know. It better be a family ticket, or else they're in for a bad time with the conductor.
Do Sao Caetano have a season pass, or well, are they getting kicked off at the next stop? Imperial, 5 kills away from their first victory here at the Americas RMR. Going 1-0, just such a sigh of relief, a little buffer, an extra game, an extra day to play. Mid taken. Early rotate off the B site, and that's going to help it. QK hits his shot on B, and now they don't need to worry about this A stack that's about to come in. Imperial do, though. They're walking right into the Lion's Den. Fur, smoke for the pit player. Showtime spams Vinny through a smoke. Oh, they see him fall and double checks it. Fur gets the kill instead, and coming through the smoke is CK with a kill himself. Hello! The Eagle spam doesn't do it. Fur will. 3 in the round, and Showtime, of course, his banana flanks are very fast. He's wrapped alongside, and he is here to stop the plant. He can't. FNX wins that battle, and this has fallen apart for Sao Caetano. Just said QK got to finish what he started, and this might be the end. Imperial, they want to close it. Fur wants to hit the shot, and the wallbang won't do it. That's the round. That's the game. That's Imperial 16-12, and Fur, the guy to get it done. Very, very well done. He had an incredible game here on Inferno.
Mate, yeah, you know, coming into this, I was really hyping up Vinny, but boy, did I bet on the wrong horse there. Like, don't get me wrong, didn't have like a quiet game, but didn't have one on Fur's level. That was...